Hi, my love. Welcome to your reading. I'm so happy you're here. All right, let's go ahead and dive in with the Astro cards and see what message wants to come through for you today. Just a quick reminder, this is a general reading, so not every single detail will be meant for you. You've already seen the title, so you know the overall energy we're tuning into. But always trust your own intuition and take only what resonates with your heart. Leave the rest behind. Now, let's see what Spirit wants you to hear right now. All right, so we've got the 10th house showing up here. That's all about career, reputation, and the way you're seen publicly. Then we have the 4th house, which brings in themes of home, roots, and what feels safe or foundational. We also pulled the Sun and the Ascendant, and then Sagittarius energy coming through as well. Now, with the Sun sitting right at the center of this spread, what I'm really picking up on is a strong masculine energy that's central to the situation. With the 10th house highlighting long-term goals and outward reputation, and Sagittarius emphasizing freedom and expansion, there's this tension showing up. On the flip side, the 4th house paired with the Ascendant is pointing toward how this person is actually perceived. Those first impressions, the image they present to others versus what's happening internally. The vibe I'm getting is that this masculine energy tends to perform in some way. It feels like their actions, choices, or even personality traits are strongly influenced by how things look on the outside. Almost like they're curating an image, what seems stable, impressive, or successful on paper. While inside, there's this yearning for more fun, adventure, and freedom. It's almost like they're caught between two worlds, the obligations and reputation they've built up versus the true desires of their soul that want more play, spontaneity, and authenticity. And with Sagittarius showing up here, it's giving me the sense that their spirit is craving expansion, wanting to break free of a box that maybe they feel trapped in. So, for me, this is someone who may look polished and put together in public, but underneath, they're wrestling with a deeper question of, am I living this for me? Or for how others see me? Let's go ahead and clarify the Sun, because that's really the spotlight here, and I feel like it's going to show us more about where this tension is coming from. The 5 of Wands is showing up here, so right away we're seeing conflict surrounding this individual. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Hierophant, the 10 of Cups, the Chariot, and the Queen of Wands. So what this is telling me is that this person is tied into something traditional, something that almost feels like it has a grip on them. The Hierophant is like, yeah, it's got them by the rules or by the expectations of society, family, or some kind of structured belief system. It's not really about gender here. It's about that restrictive energy. Now, with the 10 of Cups, this person is dreaming about something outside of that box. They want fulfillment, they want that ideal happiness, but what they're in right now, it's not exactly what it looks like on the outside. I get this strong sense that on social media, or even just in how they present themselves, they're making it appear as though everything is picture perfect. Like, look, I've got the dream life, the dream family, the dream situation. But underneath it, there's tension. There's an internal struggle. Exactly what the 5 of Wands is pointing out. Then, with the Chariot and the Queen of Wands, this really pulls us back into that Sagittarius energy, this fiery desire to move forward, to break free, to pursue a direction that feels more authentic. But here's the catch. There's still this heavy hold on the 4th house, which is all about home, roots, family, and how things appear to the outside world through the Ascendant. So it's like there's this tug of war between how things look versus what they truly want. If this is resonating with you, I feel drawn to pull a little deeper into that 4th house energy to see exactly what's holding this person back and what's happening behind closed doors. 6 of Wands and Justice? I mean, I can't even make this up. We've got strong Libra energy showing up here, so whatever this is, it's definitely about appearances, balance, and how something looks on the surface. This feels very specific, and it's coming through as tied to a masculine energy who is already connected elsewhere. The blockage here is tied directly to appearances, the image, the way things look to others. And that's what's keeping this connection stuck. Now, the energy I'm picking up is that this masculine is highly drawn to someone else, very likely you. There's a strong attraction, but it comes across as something that feels a little taboo or forbidden. And here's the kicker. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups. That's the hidden layer behind the Six of Wands and Justice. What does that tell us? It shows there's a third-party dynamic here. This person is in the spotlight, giving their attention to one situation, but in truth, their heart is leaning elsewhere. The Three of Cups with the Knight of Cups is clear. There's someone they would much rather be pouring into emotionally, someone who stirs their feelings in a way that the surface-level connection just doesn't. It's like what they're presenting outwardly is a performance, but what they're feeling inside is completely different. All right, let's shift into the tarot and really dig a little deeper here. Let's see what's actually going on in this person's world. We already know they've got an image to maintain, but where exactly is the conflict coming from? What's behind the curtain? First card out, Seven of Swords. Not exactly a surprise, right? That energy is sneaky. It's about hiding things, not wanting to come forward with the full truth. Let's keep pulling. Death card. Scorpio energy showing up here. Transformation, endings, rebirth, but paired with secrecy, it tells a story. Next, we've got the Knight of Swords. And what's riding alongside death? The Knight of Cups again. Okay, so here's the message. Seven of Swords with the Ace of Swords is very clear. Somebody is hiding the truth. This has been a repeating theme in the collective reads. So if it doesn't resonate, feel free to check out another message. But for those of you who feel it, you already know what this is about. The truth they're avoiding. They want to make an offer. They want to move forward, even rush in towards another person. The Death card here says that whatever they would bring to the table would completely transform the situation. It would change everything. And that Knight of Cups, it's emotional, it's romantic, it's the energy of someone who actually wants to open their heart. But here's the catch. That Seven of Swords energy isn't gone. Even with the Ace of Swords showing the clarity, the truth is still being masked. And why? Because this person is clinging to appearances, to the facade. They've got a reputation to uphold, an image they don't want to crack. And that, right? There is the foundation of the deception. It's not that they don't feel it. They do. But they're burying it under this pressure of how it looks versus what their soul is actually calling them toward. So let's talk about why. The Knight of Swords is here. What's the rush? What's the drive? We've got the Five of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles showing up. And honestly, this is giving the energy of something that, on the outside, looks really good. Like it checks all the boxes, the kind of situation that everyone else would label as the dream. Stability, structure, maybe even celebration or recognition around it. On paper, this person seems to have made it, but underneath, at the core, we're looking at the Five of Cups. So while it may appear shiny and ideal to everyone else, for them, it's not fulfilling. It's not giving what they thought it would give. There's this dull ache of disappointment, almost like, I got what I wanted, but this isn't it. The Four of Wands and Knight of Pentacles here tell me this was a carefully built plan, something they invested time, energy, and consistency into. Probably something that at one point they believed was the path to happiness. And yet, when we peel it back with the Ace of Pentacles and Four of Swords, it feels like they reached the milestone. And now they're realizing, this isn't actually what I want for my soul. It's like building a house only to step inside and realize it doesn't feel like home. The tricky part? They're already in it. This isn't some fleeting situation they can just walk away from overnight. They've built an identity, a reputation, a whole character around this, and that makes it messy. Behind the deck energy, we see the Five of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles, which is telling. At the end of the day, what they crave is freedom, independence, self-fulfillment. But the way things stand, they feel trapped in something that looks perfect from the outside, but feels hollow on the inside. Why is the Seven of Swords here? Well, it's clarified by the Ten of Wands. And that honestly says it all. This deception, this double life, is breaking this person's back. They're carrying the weight of their own choices, and the truth is something they already know deep down. It's heavy, it's exhausting, and it's eating away at them. Right now, they're in this place of constant stress, almost like they can't catch a breath because the burden has gotten too overwhelming. Now, why is death here? Very straightforward. It's clarified by the Ten of Swords, sitting right next to that Ten of Wands. That combination is loud. It's pointing to the fact that a cycle is nearing its end. This person is aware of it. They can feel it in their bones. And yes, it's painful, it's depressing, very much Five of Cups energy. They're grieving the loss of what they once believed was their ultimate goal: the status, the reputation, the approval of others. They thought if they could hold on to that image, that would be success. But reality is setting in. What once looked like a dream now feels like a prison. It's becoming almost impossible to keep living a lie. That's the breaking point, the realization that something has to give. An ending is inevitable here. And that's exactly why the Sun showed up earlier, paired with the Five of Wands. It highlights the inner conflict raging inside this masculine energy. On the outside, it's all appearances and performance, but internally, there's a storm. They know change is coming, and the thought of letting go of what they built, no matter how false, is tearing them apart. Why is the Knight of Swords here? Okay, well, that makes sense. There's an Empress. There's this Empress energy that this person feels drawn to, pulled toward, and it's undeniable. The only issue is that in the 3D, to the people around them, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense for them to make that move, not in the way their life is currently structured. So, why is the Empress here? Page of Wands. Because this is the spark of something new, a whole new chapter in this person's life. You've reignited something within them, something they didn't even think was possible anymore. They had basically resigned themselves to the idea that in this lifetime, they would just have to settle. Settle for the pinnacle, settle for the image, the status, the reputation, the recognition, the hollow satisfaction that came from achievements. They thought that was going to be it. They thought that was all there was for them. But then you entered the picture, and you're different. You awakened a part of them that had gone dormant, maybe even something they didn't know existed. And now, with the Two of Wands showing up at the bottom, along with that Page of Wands, the choice is clear. They're standing at a crossroads. And with the Hierophant behind that, it becomes even more apparent. This is about a path, a decision between two very different lives. One path is the safe path, the one they've always known, the predictable, traditional one. The other, the scary path, the riskier one. But it's also the most fulfilling, the one that actually lights them up from the inside. And the truth is, when they think about moving toward you, that's exactly where they feel their soul being pulled. This pull makes their day-to-day life feel heavier, more unbearable. The deception, the mask they wear, the life they play along with, has become louder, harder to ignore. Where they used to function almost like a robot, just going through the motions, now every action feels forced. The resentment is creeping in. The disgust is growing, and all of it is building into this undeniable magnetic pull toward you. All right, so let's break down the Knight of Cups here. What's really going on with that energy? Well, it's being clarified by the King of Swords, so we've got Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy showing up. This tells me that while this person might be keeping a cool exterior, their heart isn't where they physically are right now. Their heart is with you. The Knight of Cups is showing us they're romanticizing the connection, fantasizing about what it would feel like to pursue it fully. But here's the catch. They know deep down that in order to actually bring this into reality, they'd have to make a significant ending somewhere else. It's not something that could exist without them closing a chapter first. Now, Ace of Swords with the Two of Pentacles, there's a decision here, but it's not really a mystery to them. The truth is already clear in their mind. They know which direction they would choose if it came down to it. The issue isn't about not knowing, it's about bridging that gap, getting from point A to point B. When we look at the Two of Pentacles clarified by the King of Wands, it's very telling. The choice is between keeping up the facade, keeping the mask on for the sake of appearances, or stepping into a bold, passionate new beginning with you. And if they choose to keep the mask, then we see Temperance and the Six of Swords energy. That means dragging things out, keeping the peace on the surface, moving forward, but in a way that doesn't rock the boat. Still, the energy here feels like someone who is strategizing. They're not moving impulsively, but they have thought this through. They're weighing it carefully, and part of me feels like they're quietly planning something in the background, even if it's not obvious yet. Tell me about that Ten of Swords, though. Ah, the Star. And remember, the Star always comes after the Tower. More Aquarius energy showing up here, by the way. So, what this is pointing to is an ending. Yes, but not just an ending. It's the clearing away of something heavy from the past. It's them trying to level things out, to restore some kind of balance after everything has already crumbled. Okay, let's dig a little deeper, because honestly, this has been such a consistent thread showing up for you guys lately. Spirit's clearly emphasizing it for a reason. So, what I want to do now is shift over to the Energy Oracle and get a sense of what's surrounding this situation. Specifically, what's the energy around this person, and how is it going to affect you? Let's stretch it out to the next 6 months just so we can see the bigger picture, not just what they're feeling today, but where things could realistically be headed between you and this person. All right, so we've got the Angel of Strength showing up in the upright and right. Next to it, we have the door to personal healing and happiness, also upright, along with the 7th chakra. Now listen, some of you are definitely dealing with a twin flame connection here. And the thing is, they might not have fully received the download yet about what exactly they need to do. They're over here stressing, feeling that undeniable pull toward you, but at the same time, they're not clear, not really getting the answers they're searching for. Something is shifting, though. This feels like the hidden energy moving behind the scenes. The divine is stepping in, and what's really required here is that they build up the confidence, the inner strength to take that step forward. Because healing and alignment, that's the doorway opening for them, and that rainbow on the other side, it's you. You represent that brighter, higher path. And I truly feel Spirit is trying very hard to get through to them at this point. Now, what's interesting is the adjacent possibilities card showing up in reverse. This tells us they're not seeing their options clearly. They might feel boxed in, like they've got no way forward, but that's not reality. It's a block in their perception. And that's exactly where the crown chakra energy comes in. The downloads, the nudges, the intuitive hits from Spirit, those are meant to open their eyes to what's already there. So let's go deeper. Let's pull and see why exactly this 7th chakra is here. The 9 of Pentacles. I can't even... Okay. And then we've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Cups coming through. So here's the thing. This person is sitting in a lot of thought right now. There's this undeniable pull of passion and emotion toward you, and it's stirring. Something inside them that they may not have expected. This connection is acting like a trigger, but not in a negative sense. It's sparking an awakening, urging them to finally tap into the gifts and inner wisdom they've been suppressing. It feels like their crown chakra is opening, and they're being called loudly, almost unmistakably, to liberate themselves with that 9 of Pentacles energy. It's about breaking free, reclaiming independence, and seeing beyond the illusions or restrictions they've been caught in. Up until now, it's like they couldn't see the forest for the trees. They were too entangled, too clouded. But clarity is coming. Something is shifting, and they're on the brink of realizing exactly what needs to be done. And here's the kicker. Right behind that King of Cups sits the Tower with the Knight of Swords. That's sudden, that's disruptive, and it's fast-moving energy. This awakening could catapult them into action very quickly. For some, it may even unfold around Leo season, which keeps showing up in the collective energy. Something abrupt, almost divinely orchestrated, forces an ending and shakes them right out of the old circumstance. This time, though, they're not ignoring the signs. They're actually ready to follow their intuition. Let's take a look at what's going on with Angel of Strength and the Temple Path Dharm Spirit energy. What I'm seeing here is that this person is protected. Spirit is all around them right now, guiding them, nudging them, almost surrounding them in what I like to call Archangel energy. It's like the divine is literally trying to get their attention, saying, hey, look, the door's right here, walk through it. And another layer to this, yes, that pull of attraction, that rise in desire and chemistry, it's going to intensify. But it isn't just for no reason. Spirit often uses that energy as a wake-up call, a way to shake someone out of complacency. It's designed to push this person forward, to help them move away from what no longer serves them, and to propel them towards something that truly resonates. Now, why is Angel of Strength showing up here? Because there's a deeper theme around self-worth, and appreciation. Whatever situation this person has been tangled up in, it has drained them. It has chipped away at their confidence, made them feel trapped, maybe even less than, like they've been demasculated or diminished in some way. Spirit is trying to rebuild that within them, to remind them of their own value. And here's the truth. They don't need to remain bound to a karmic cycle or to 3D obligations just to uphold appearances or reputation. That's surface-level stuff, and if they stay stuck on the surface, they're going to miss out on the richness, the depth, and the real love that lies beneath it. What Spirit is urging here is a return to true self-appreciation, realizing their worth, remembering who they are at the core, because there is someone here, a true soulmate, who is a gift straight from the divine, someone who will love them, honor them, and appreciate them in a way they've always deserved but perhaps haven't yet experienced. Why is the door to personal healing and happiness here? It's the sun. Because truly, this is everything. It's the clarity, the joy, and the renewal that's been long overdue in this situation. I feel like over the next 6 months, so much is going to be illuminated for you guys. I know some of you may be on the edge of losing hope, questioning whether this person will ever shift, but Spirit is saying, hold on, light is breaking through. This person is stepping into a brand new phase, and it begins with them learning how to genuinely love themselves. That's not a small thing. That's the very foundation of their healing. And when someone starts to honor and embrace their own worth, that becomes the first real step toward union with you. It's not just about them finding their way back to you, it's about them finally finding their way back to themselves, and that's what makes the connection sustainable. Well, let's talk about the 7th chakra with envy in the upright. What I'm seeing here is that this person has been watching, observing, and deeply wanting to move toward you. But Spirit is stepping in and saying, stop doubting. This is already written for you. This connection is divinely ordained. Now, in the 3D, it might not look that way. People around them, or even around you, might say, no, this doesn't make sense. This is foolish. This isn't the practical choice. But Spirit is reminding them that this isn't something they just have to keep yearning for from a distance. This isn't just a wish. This is something they can actually step into and claim. But only once they choose to step fully into their own power. That's the lesson that's unfolding here. Why is envy showing up? Because the sun is shining on it. Spirit is literally saying, stop standing at the window, looking outward, wanting something better, and instead step into the light. Go for what your soul already knows belongs to you. Illumination is coming in, exposing truths they can no longer ignore. At the bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles, and right next to it, the 2 of Cups. This is huge. It's showing that deep down, this person has been craving union with you. This soulmate connection is what their heart truly longs for. And the divine is urging them to recognize that this love is worth far more than anything else they've been prioritizing. Because here's the thing. For so long, they've placed heavy value on external markers. Money, status, reputation. We've already seen hints of this energy before. And Spirit isn't calling them greedy, but there is a frequency of misplaced value here. They've poured all these pentacles, all this effort into a system, a life, an image that hasn't brought them real fulfillment. Instead, it has stunted their growth. Now, the divine is showing them that the very things they've been clinging to are actually blocking their happiness. And what's waiting for them? A soulmate connection that has the potential to bring them true joy, healing, and long-term value far beyond what they've been chasing in the material world. All right, let's take a look here. Adjacent possibilities. In the reverse, and Healer of the Ages upright. Yes, clarity is on the way. This is the breakthrough moment, and it really begins the moment this person chooses to heal themselves. Door to personal healing and happiness and the sun are showing up because that's the key. The more they embrace their healing, the more clarity will come flooding in. Right now, Spirit is trying to pull them away from being so locked into the 3D. Because the more they stay focused there, the heavier their energy becomes. I'm picking up that there's a group of people or even a situation around them that constantly lowers their vibration. The energy rubs off on them and it keeps them feeling stuck, unable to rise above. But underneath all of this, Beneath the layers of distraction and conditioning, this person is very much an old soul. They've just been lulled to sleep, almost, numbed by whatever this energy around them is. They've temporarily forgotten their essence, their divine spark, who they truly are at the core. The divine is gently but firmly guiding them to wake up, to shake off the fog and see the truth. Clearly, it's like that call to see the forest through the trees, to recognize that they are more than their circumstances, more than the energy that tries to keep them small. This is a soul awakening moment, and Spirit is lighting the path for them to remember who they are and to step into it fully. All right, let's go to the door of Spirit. Why is it here? Contract in the upright. Yeah, it's time. It's time to step into contract, and Spirit honestly couldn't be more clear or more insistent about this. This isn't something that can just be brushed aside anymore. Tell me about that contract. There's a divine connection tied to it, something that's already written. For some of you, this could even be a 5D marriage kind of situation. Kingdom spouse energy, soul bond energy. It's already sealed in Spirit. The only issue is that this person has the blindfold on right now. They can't quite see it yet. But the thing is, clarity's coming. They're about to be awakened to what this really is. Notice how the contract card is linked to the Tower. This is Spirit guiding them to let something collapse, to let something end, because it's already run its course. It's played out. It's done. Now, about this Envy card. What's going on here? 6 of Pentacles, the Chariot, 9 of Swords. So this has to do with where they're giving their energy, where their effort is going. Spirit is urging them to walk away from something that's been draining them and instead to open up to something higher, something that actually matches their soul. The challenge is, I feel like this person's been very attached to material things, to status, or to a certain lifestyle. It's almost like they've been measuring success by 3D standards, and that makes it hard for them to detach. But here's the shift. With the Hanged Man and Page of Swords, they're starting to get a new perspective. They're actually being taught. Spirit is feeding them insights piece by piece, little downloads, breadcrumbs to guide them forward. Yeah, it's scary for them, because it's pulling them out of what's familiar, but that's part of the process. What they're being shown is that this life they've been chasing, it's a cycle that never ends. No matter how much they gain, it won't fulfill them. It's always set up to leave them wanting more. Whereas this divine connection, this soul contract, this kingdom spouse energy, that's the real fulfillment. That's what's stable. That's what nourishes. But it does require sacrifice. It requires them to let go of something that looks shiny in the 3D so they can step into something truly blessed in the 5D and eventually in the physical as well. Tell us about the Sun with the Knight of Cups. Then at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Page of Cups and the 6 of Cups. What this really shows is that Spirit is guiding this person to fully step into healing, because that's the only way they can truly come into alignment with this connection. Between the two of you, there's something incredibly tender here. It's sweet, it's innocent in some ways, but it's also deeply genuine and heartfelt. It's emotional, but in a pure, honest way. And it stands completely apart from anything else they've experienced before. The thing is, if they keep resisting, if they don't listen to their higher self or the divine guidance that's coming through, they'll remain stuck in this perpetual loop of seeking, craving, chasing fulfillment, but never actually finding it. They'll keep wanting more without even understanding why the emptiness doesn't go away. Right now, Spirit is really pressing on them, trying to break through that fog, trying to open their eyes and their heart so they don't miss this. Blessing in front of them. Collective, I have to say. This feels like a storyline that keeps resurfacing, almost as if Spirit really wants to drive this message home. There's something unfolding here that's not quite finished yet, and I'm very curious to see how it plays out over the coming months. I genuinely feel that big shifts are happening. Shifts in awareness, shifts in perspective, and even shifts in how this connection is being approached. If you're resonating with this, then you're likely feeling those changes stirring already. So, my loves, I'm going to leave this reading right here for today. I truly hope it brought a bit of clarity, confirmation, or even comfort to those of you who needed it. If it did, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Your stories and reflections are always so powerful to share. And of course, if you've been enjoying these readings, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us stay connected. All right, my loves, until next time, sending you all so much love and light. I'll talk to you very soon. Bye.